Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So if you'd like to manifest a more specific message from the reading today, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. Okay, so I'm going to start today by shuffling the traditional tarot cards, and I just want to know what our beautiful collective needs to know most at this time. Okay, so here we have the Five of Swords in the upright position. The message really coming through from this card is a lack of communication from a specific person. Now, the thing about this person is, although they seem to not be communicating with you in the physical world, they do seem to be sending you a lot of energy. And that energy is affecting you in some type of way. I'm hearing you can feel it like a heaviness around you. For some of you, this could be someone that you had a falling out with or an argument with. It feels as though there was some kind of energy hanging in the air when the two of you separated. This could even be a past friend. This could be a family member that you aren't communicating with at the moment. And of course, this could be a love situation as well. Can I get more information on this person? Something about their energy is coming up as having been deceptive, and they seem to have possibly not been forthright about something when the two of you were communicating more in the physical. This may have been someone who manipulated you in some way. I'm hearing that people around you who were really close to you didn't seem to think positively about this person. They may have even warned you about them or told you that they didn't really get a good energy from this person. This does feel like someone who is putting on some kind of a front, doing and saying and behaving in certain ways in the physical towards you, but being very different beneath the surface. But I'm hearing you were almost blindsided at the time to this person or situation because you really wanted to think the best of them. You wanted a connection with them. There were certain aspects of that connection that you really liked, but a lot of it that was actually negatively impacting you in subconscious ways. And I'm hearing that when this person or when you cut off communication here, you felt this instant lifting, like a weight had been lifting or something. It felt like a lighter energy around you. But the thing is, because this person is still so heavily thinking of you and sending you a lot of energy, I'm hearing they appear to have entirely let you go physically, or at least that's what you might be thinking, but energetically they're holding on really tightly. And it seems possible that this might be impacting you in some kind of way. I'm getting a very strong message. This is very specific, but if you have remnants of this person, like certain gifts that they gave you or objects, or maybe even certain messages from them or things on your device, it might be beneficial to consider erasing or getting rid of some of these physical remnants of this person that might be in your space. But this is only if you notice a kind of particular heaviness around your living space. So for some of you, for example, you might notice that because all objects carry energy, that you have certain objects or things from this person. I'm not sure why I keep seeing letters, but you might have certain things from this person in your home or in your living space. And you may notice that in that particular space, you are experiencing heavy energy, possibly even feeling bad luck or something along those lines. And that could actually be because the objects in that space are weighing down your energy because they're carrying the energy of this person. Now, I know this is hyper specific. This may only connect with a very select few people, but it's a very important message for those few people, because if you found yourself wondering if there is just something off about your environment or your living space because you've been feeling a little bit off in that space, or maybe physically even you have certain symptoms in that space, it's highly recommended to get rid of things that this person may have gifted or given you, because their energy is a bit negative towards you at this time, and it might be subconsciously somewhat impacting you. Again, keep in mind, this will not be for everyone. Only take this if it does connect for you personally. But I don't normally channel messages of this nature. I like to keep these readings from a positive perspective, but I also think that for whoever I am speaking to here, this may be a really powerful and important message. Now, with the Six of Cups in the reverse position, this is about releasing the past and focusing on the future. So there's a more generalized message coming up here that not just this person, but many people and things from your past are going to be attempting to pull on your energy at this time. And this is because they can actually sense through the quantum field that you are leveling up, that you are transforming your life in really positive ways. And because of that, they are, I'm hearing, trying to ride on your coattails, as the saying goes, someone who is trying to benefit from your up-leveling your own energy, but possibly without really doing the inner work. I'm hearing bypassing. They may be trying to bypass their own healing, their own inner work or transformation process, and benefit from the work that you've done on yourself. There's a very strong message here about allowing yourself to be fully free of the past. I'm hearing that you are even being called to free yourself from past versions of your own self, outdated versions of you that were not as evolved or expanded as you are now, because there may be certain dreams, certain goals, certain connections that really deeply resonated with outdated versions of you, with versions of you from when you were younger or when you were on a different point in your soul's path and evolution. And you might find that now those versions of you are simply no longer resonant, and many of the connections or things that connected with those outdated versions are no longer resonant for you either. I just keep getting something about your living space or environment still coming up. So there might be someone who has felt called to clean or declutter their living space, or possibly even to move altogether or to travel somewhere new. And I'm hearing that these intuitive impulses are really powerful. So if you've been receiving any intuition in any of those regards, this is definitely something to explore internally, to get clear on as far as what your intuition is trying to speak to you. Now, I'm getting another message about dreams. So for someone specific here, when it comes to releasing your past, your dreams might be playing a role here. So you might actually be having dreams about past people, past situations, past versions of your life. And I'm hearing these dreams are showing you how much you no longer fit into those small places and spaces. We have the Judgment card in the reverse position. There may be certain people coming to you in your dreams who have been unwilling to learn their own karmic lessons. So these could be individuals that are stuck in karmic loops and might be showing up in your dreams. And maybe because of interactions or conversations in those dreams, it becomes very obvious to you that these individuals are very much stuck in lower vibrational pathways or patterns. I'm not sure why this is coming up here. I'm going to be channeling more about this, but I'm also hearing that certain individuals I am tuned into here might be experiencing dreams that are highly symbolic. I'm just getting that the third eye is very active at this time and that it might be speaking to you in part through these dream symbols, but also certain symbols or even numbers that seem to be repeating or showing up in your life. I'm seeing the number 555, so that might specifically be a number coming up for someone that can really indicate radical changes taking place in your life if that is for you. With this Queen of Cups reversed energy, this gives me a very lower vibrational feminine kind of energy. This may be someone who is either attached to your past or someone who is attached to a specific person that you are relating to or who is in your life. This is someone who comes off as over self-sacrificial, or they may think of themselves as always giving to others or being very self-sacrificing. But in reality, this is someone who is actually very superficial. The word vain is coming out here. I'm not sure why. And specifically, it seems like this is someone who doesn't want you to experience a reunion or a happy coming together with a particular person in your life, with the Four of Wands reversed, because I'm hearing they don't want you to experience the happiness that they haven't been able to attain for themselves. So energetically, this is someone trying to sabotage some kind of reunion or some kind of coming together in a celebratory way. Now, this could be in a general sense. This may be a feminine energy who never seems to be happy for you when you are happy romantically, or when you meet someone that you connect with really well romantically. Even if they say that they are a friend or that they care about you, they never seem to be happy or excited for you when you're doing really well in your love life. Pay attention to that, because that is a sign that this is someone who doesn't want you, again, to achieve a level of happiness that they haven't figured out how to achieve for themselves, but particularly in love. Now, if this isn't connecting as a friend or person in your life, this may actually be a karmic feminine connected with a divine masculine that you are now beginning to connect with. Now, of course, in this scenario, that would make you the divine feminine, and I know that won't necessarily apply for everyone, so only take these details as they connect. But as well, if you are new here, I do want to say that we all have a balance of divine feminine and divine masculine energy within us. So these messages could also resonate with your internal divine masculine or divine feminine, or of course, they could resonate with an external person or situation. But here we have the Lovers card reversed. So I'm getting that this karmic feminine, whether it's someone connected to you or whether it's someone connected to this divine masculine, for whatever reason, they don't like the idea of you experiencing this happy, full coming together with this masculine energy. This could be, of course, a karmic that was in this divine masculine's life. This could be a friend, a family member, someone from their past, or even someone they're currently connecting with. And the thing about this person is they actually sense the intensity of the love connection between the two of you. They sense that this is a really powerful soul connection, and a kind of soul connection this particular feminine has never quite experienced for themselves in this lifetime. I'm also hearing that if this is someone connected to a masculine that you are connecting with romantically, this person never got to experience the side of that masculine that you are getting. Because I'm getting that you are getting this masculine in his King of Cups energy. So you are experiencing this masculine as someone who's very in touch with his emotions towards you, who can't help but be emotional about you. And this feminine experienced the exact opposite within this masculine. When he was with her, or when they were connecting, this masculine was seemingly very cold, very detached, very out of touch with his emotions. That's because this feminine is the Queen of Cups reversed. So this masculine was connecting with her in the King of Cups reversed energy, because karmic connections tend to relate to us through our wounded patterns and dynamics. They connect with us at a lower vibrational level. So although there can be a really intense kind of attraction and pull that can feel like chemistry, what that person is actually connecting to are those lower vibrational aspects of ourselves. And of course, the purpose of that at a high level is actually really beautiful, because it's meant to trigger those wounds so that ultimately we can heal them. But the thing about karmic connections is, once we do heal those wounds and patterns that used to relate to the other person, the connection itself seems to just dissolve. It feels suddenly like there's no attraction, or like there's no pull, because we already learned the lesson, and therefore that particular soul contract completes itself or fulfills itself. That's also another really powerful generalized message coming up for the collective, which is the concept of soul contracts and knowing when they're still active and when they're still completed. Because society often tells us to consciously and selectively choose who we're going to basically pull into our lives and connect with, and who we're going to push out of our lives. But from a spiritual perspective, the process of connection is much more subconscious. It's much more energetically based. It's really not a conscious process of, okay, I'm going to now choose to build a connection with this person, or I'm going to choose to push this other person out of my life. From a spiritual perspective, whenever we connect in a meaningful way with a particular person in the physical, it's because there is an active soul contract between us. And sometimes soul contracts can be only a few seconds. It might be that moment we pass a stranger on the street, lock eyes, and exchange a smile. And maybe that was a soulmate from a past life. Maybe we were both meant to receive something from that very brief moment. But then we go our separate ways and the soul contract is complete. In other cases, soul contracts can be months of communicating with a particular person, whether it's a friend or someone romantic, where we teach each other something or inspire each other in some way. And then suddenly that person just seems to leave our life, or it just suddenly feels like there's no connection there anymore. And of course, there are some soul contracts that last for a very long time. These are typically our dominant relationships, whether it's friends, family members, or lovers. And these individuals are meant to teach us major lessons. So in some cases, these soul contracts can last a lifetime, especially if that person is part of our soul family and therefore shares a similar core soul frequency to our own. We are capable of continuing to connect throughout lifetimes, because as we learn one lesson with one another, it's like we continue to grow and to connect, and that bond only grows stronger. That's a major difference between, for example, karmic connections and soul-based connections, or I should say connections based on similarity of core soul frequency. A major difference is when someone is a karmic, we will learn the lesson and get out, meaning we will learn the lesson and then no longer feel any pull to that person. Whereas with a soulmate or with a twin flame, yes, they will teach us lessons, but we will continuously feel not only an attraction, but actually a deepening of attraction as those lessons are learned. because the more we peel back those layers of what we are not, of those blockages, of those limiting belief systems, the more we are radiating that pure core soul frequency, which is actually where those soul-based connections are truly connecting from. So all of this to say, in this particular instance, this Queen of Cups reversed, if it's someone who is not connecting with the masculine in your life, then they simply have been very much in this lower vibrational energy, not learning their own karmic lessons. So they're feeling jealous of the love that you are coming into because it's something they've never had access to for themselves. But in many cases, this will be a karmic feminine that was connected to a divine masculine that is now in your life. And this is someone who is feeling jealous because you are getting a version of this masculine that they never saw within that connection or relationship. And of course, that is because the nature of these connections is simply different. This is bringing me to a different message here, which is you simply bring out a side of this divine masculine that not only have other people not seen within him, but he's not even seen within himself. It's almost like he is surprising himself with this version of him that you are bringing out because he really didn't even know that that version existed. So I'm going to reshuffle the cards here, and I want to channel a little bit more about what version of this masculine you are bringing out. So what version of this masculine? Okay, a version of him that is learning to release his deepest fears around love and connection. This may have been someone that came out very avoidant in the past, but now because of this irresistibly strong pull that he's feeling towards you, there is no avoiding or evading this connection, but also a part of him that wants to reveal his deepest, truest self and all of his secrets. I'm hearing there are things that this masculine has told you or wants to reveal to you that he has never spoken out loud or told anyone, including, again, if there was that karmic feminine, she never heard these secrets or knew these things about him that he just pours out so effortlessly in your presence. With the Four of Coins reversed, you also make this masculine want to let go of people or things in their life that are holding them back from being their highest version of self. There may have been some poor influences in this masculine's life. I'm hearing toxic masculinity, so there could have been other masculine energies in this person's life who were very toxic, who may have spoken poorly about women in general, for example, who may have connected to this masculine from a very superficial perspective. But what this masculine is finding is that he's connecting with a much softer, more emotionally in touch kind of person, whether that's platonically, romantically, socially. He's finding that those people that used to connect from that rigid, harsh, cold, superficial place, he's just no longer feeling the desire to spend time with. Now, with the Knight of Cups reversed, something coming out here as well, perhaps a side of this masculine you are seeing that somewhat scares him is a side of him that is afraid of unrequited love, afraid of putting his heart out there and being rejected. Now, the thing is, he can't resist putting his heart out there when it comes to you, opening his heart, but there is this fear of entirely losing himself in this connection, which is very ironic because this fear of enmeshment not only didn't exist in other connections, but was entirely irrelevant because he seemed to have trouble even connecting to begin with, let alone risking being somehow enmeshed with that person. He always had such a strong sense of himself as a very strong individual that there was never even the slightest risk of becoming enmeshed with another person romantically. In fact, it was more so the opposite, where partners or past connections would have complained that this masculine was cold or detached or difficult to connect with. But with you, it's like everything is the opposite. This is a masculine who actually feels like you are someone they could just entirely get swept away with, far beyond what they perceive to be their depth. Someone that they feel they could actually get their heart broken with. It's like this is a masculine who typically has very strong walls around his heart. And to be honest, in those past karmic relationships, at some level, he quite simply wouldn't have cared if the karmic feminines in the past would have walked away or would have changed their mind. This really wouldn't have affected this masculine. And in fact, if some of those karmic relationships have ended, the masculine here is astonished that the walking away of those karmic feminines never affected him really in the slightest. He never even felt emotional about it. But with you, it's like you're still here and he's already feeling emotional just through this sense of his own sudden fragility in the heart space, his ability to get hurt, that vulnerability that's only coming because his heart is so soft towards you. He also finds it really difficult to have boundaries with you when it comes to what he shares or how much time he speaks to you or what he says to you. Whereas, again, this has never been an issue in the past. It was always very much the opposite. You are making this masculine believe in spiritual things that he's never considered in the past. We have the Five of Pentacles reversed. It's almost like while in the physical world, he feels as though he hasn't accomplished as much as he might like to, or even like there's been a little bit of a backsliding in his career or his financial life. That won't be for everyone. But regardless, there is this sense of, at the same time, developing this deep level of faith in spiritual things that he's never had in the past. And this is all a result of experiences he's had with you and within this connection that are completely unique and also completely unexplainable from a logical perspective. Now, ironically, if this is a masculine who's felt some backsliding financially or in the workplace, there are actually much bigger opportunities opening up to him. Now, what I'm really seeing is this shift from the Five of Pentacles reverse, which can indicate unemployment, hard times at work, feeling some frustration in the workplace, to the Ace of Pentacles. But you'll notice in the pictures that the Ace of Pentacles is like this huge coin, whereas the Five of Pentacles look like pennies in comparison. So what I'm seeing here is the masculine is actually giving up his old ways in order to open up to a much bigger, much more worthy opportunity. Now, that could be romantically, that could be spiritually. I'm getting for many of them, it may be financially as well, where being connected to your energy, divine feminine, has had quite an impact because on the one hand, it has completely torn apart and deconstructed every area of this masculine's life that brought him this false sense of superficial security. However, it's now also opening him up to these powerful, brand new opportunities that he never had access to in the past that are actually so much greater, that represent that Ace of Pentacles here, that are going to bring so much more long-term abundance, stability, and most importantly, a kind of deep level happiness that he never experienced in the past. So just being connected to you is having a powerful impact on this masculine's life, not just romantically, but I'm seeing he's noticing things beginning to alter in a radical way, even in the workplace, financially, when it comes to his other connections, his social circle. I'm also getting as well that people around him seem to just notice this kind of glow about him or this newfound happiness, and may have even commented this to him. And he knows, even though he might not say it out loud, that this glow is a direct result of his connectedness to you. Now, in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, we will be diving deeper into these messages. So we will be taking a look at what this masculine is currently thinking and feeling, how things are likely to progress and move forward in his life. We'll also be channeling into anyone or anything else that might be connected to your aura, Divine Feminine, that might be attached to your energy in some way. And any further messages from your spirit guides, your higher self, or whatever divine forces you personally connect with. So the link to access the extended version of this reading with those details is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. But for now, I'm going to close this reading with one final Rumi Oracle message. And this card is Blood Angel. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. In the midst of the darkness, a moon appeared with its brilliance. Stepping down from the clouds, it glanced at me. Like a falcon that hunts a bird and steals it away, it captured me and flew back to infinite space. As I looked for myself, I could not find me. For my body had become all soul in the tenderness of love. The 9 spheres of heaven dissolved in that moon as the ship of my existence drowned in the sea of love. Rumi. This oracle comes with a particular message of well-being and vitality. You have perhaps become tired or are well but seek to engage in new projects and practices that will stretch or challenge you. The Blood Angel brings you the blessing of whatever energy is required to expand where life is leading you. What the divine has instilled within your heart shall be financed with life force and energy so it may be brought to fulfillment. Your energy, as you are going through growth and opening, can become unstable for a time, more porous or vulnerable than usual. This is nothing to be concerned about. And the guidebook also says, when opening up to receive more, one needs to empty out what has been to allow for a new influx of energy. You have outgrown what has been, and it cannot satisfy your soul anymore. It may not be easy, but you will gain more trust in the divine, in you, in life, and in great power and heavenly play can and will flow through your soul into the world. The Blood Angel invites you to accept the genius of life and allow it to flow through you, circulating your divine light even more abundantly into the world around you. So that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading today. Thank you so much again for tuning in to today's reading. I am sending you all so much love and light energy. Of course, if you do resonate with me, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And the link to the extended reading on Patreon, where I will be heading to next, is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Have a beautiful remainder of your day and week, and I will connect with you here again in Friday's reading.